I mean, bound to be some good ASMR today as I am. Ugh, no, what the heck? Well, let's try that again. Yeah, bound to be some good ASMR today because I am doing my nails and I've noticed how the sound gets picked up with my microphone. Which, excuse me, I'm going to move a little bit just to get a little bit closer to. It can be a bit interesting, the sounds that come out when you're filing your nails or just doing whatever. So, that'll be an enjoyable part of the experience today as we are live now at the Terri Strange channel. Yeah. Great question. This is let's talk about this. This is a very important question. Honey, let me tell you, don't let the generational divide get you tripped up about where your hair is parted at. Okay? You need to be flexible about where you part your hair unless you have like some major cowlicks, and how I think the length of your hair determines a lot of it too. So if my hair were very short, I could only part it in certain ways because of the cowlicks that I have. But since my hair is a bit longer, I have more play with that. So I can do it down the middle. I can do it on either side. Um, you know, and in terms of the Gen Z middle part thing, I think you need to be very careful not to rock that for too long, unless you can pull it off well. But with men, past a certain age, a middle part really makes you look kind of goofy. You know what I mean? You don't want to rock it past a certain age. It can come across kind of like alfalfa from the little Rugrats, or what is that? The Little Rascals, not Rugrats. You know what I mean? You don't. You want to avoid the Alfie look at all costs. But I mean, it's your hair. You need to play around with it and you need to do different things. You don't need to commit to one part. You really don't. I found that in my journey, the different parts I embrace, the more fun I have with my hair. Now, I don't know what kind of, I don't know much about your hair, honestly. I would need to like actually see some, photos which show your hair texture, length, also the thickness of it can have a lot to do with it, before I actually give a real consultation to you about how to do your hair. So, if you would like to work with me one on one, private consultation, I do have them available in my shop. It's $50. So you can message me privately if you want a private consultation, and I will give you the instructions for how to set that up. Yeah, I don't usually, honey. I don't usually. Never given a hair consult before. Usually people want me to like listen to their crazy story and then give advice. But if your crazy story is your hair, hey, I'm here for you. If you think I can help you, then I'll do my best for you. Whatever you want a consultation about, within limits. Hey, I know hair. Obviously, obviously I know hair. I mean, come on. So yeah, how's everyone out there doing in the YouTube lands here? How's the chat doing? We're Thursday. We're finally at Thursday, which is usually my favorite day of the week. Oh my goodness. Having trouble getting the nail polish off the tip of this nail. I have this, usually I use acetone nail polish, but the store has been out. And I haven't wanted to order more since I do have some other nail polishes in the house. But this one that I'm using right now is like an organic one that has like lavender oil in it and no toxic chemicals. And it works all right, but it's more work to get the nail polish off. But I like that it's kind of oily so it doesn't dry out my nails when I'm removing the nail polish. Because, you know, for those of you who do your nails, I'm sure you know the struggle of dealing with that. You think I'm a style icon? Oh my gosh. You know, I don't do too bad. I don't do too bad. Yeah, I don't do too bad. I had a weird message this week. Sometimes I get like random messages from people on social media, and this person like messaged me and was asking me, you know, have you ever been scouted by any modeling agencies? Because it would be ridiculous if you hadn't. And I was like, you know, thank you. No, thank you. You know, I sometimes get, you know, fan messages, which who knows what the intention really is other than to compliment me. I don't know if there's anything beyond that, but yeah, it's amazing. I'm such a style icon, but I'm like this underground style icon. Okay, Matthew is suggesting, the middle part. I mean, yeah, it really depends. Like I said, if you want a real hair consultation with me, hit me up. We'll talk about it. I'll give you advice. I can't say for sure until I see what we're working with here, because a middle part can look really fetching on some people, and then on other people it can be a total like bad idea. It can be a really bad idea on some people. Wait, Tom is amazing. What a hairstyle. It's nice. You like my hair today? I got a little clip here too. You like that? I'm being extra today. Thursday is my like favorite day of the week. So, oh, and you can see my tattoo here. Look, you like that? It's kind of peeking through my see-through undershirt there, but yeah. I like when it peeks out. And one day when I finally get my, you know, my prime real estate piece done here, you know, it'll be even better. I just, yeah, it'll look phenomenal. Well, I needed a web for my spider, didn't I? Fine, straight blonde hair. Yeah, okay. You know, with the good thing though about having that kind of hair though is that you can usually style it up. You can do like a quiff, you know? So that's one thing, like depending on how short it is, you can kind of play with it like that. Okay. Which type vibes? Oh, you're so nice. I am a witchy woman, yeah. Spider Magic. Hi, Lord Vivi. How you doing tonight? I know. I can't wait for summer. I can't wait to like not have to wear a jacket. I'm tired of getting dressed, when I leave the house. I got to put on all these clothes. It's a drag. I want to just go out in like pants, shoes, and a shirt. I'm tired of it. Having to put on a jacket, put on a scarf, put on a hat. Like, ugh, why can't I just go outside as I am? It's just a lot. It's just a lot. I'm tired of it. But, every season has its place. It's just this winter has been so rough. It's been a rough winter. And now, like, all my coworkers are sick. Not all of them, but a good number of them. Such a drag. A based goth. I suppose. I'm not really sure what based means. Can I be honest with you? People call me based when I say certain things, but I don't really understand the term. What does based mean? When you call something based, what are you meaning by that? I definitely do identify with the Gothic subculture to an extent. I definitely have for many years been interested in that kind of thing, style, aesthetic. I, of course, do it in my own way, and I'm not opposed to wearing certain colors, but definitely have interest in that art, style, music, all of it. Putting the kids to bed. Aw. 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 A story about your goth friend. Aw. Yeah, I was goth in middle school. What a mess. I got a lot of hate for it because I went to a very urban, we'll just call it middle school. So the kids didn't really know what to do with me. And I liked rap music too, so they really didn't know what to do with me. They're like, you don't like rap music? And then they're like, oh, what are you listening to? And they're like, damn. On my Walkman. God, middle school was a drag. I was thinking about it earlier today. I had this like random memory come up and I was like, ugh, ugh. Shove it down and forget. Let's shove that down and forget. Okay, I think I've removed at least most of the nail polish. I don't know. If there were more light over here, I'd probably be able to see better. It's like a light nude color too, so that makes it difficult sometimes to always catch it. Like I'll notice when I'm filing the nails that then there'll be little bits of it coming out, but the nails are free. So base means truth teller. Oh wow, I see. Okay. Yeah, that's interesting. I do like that. Based in truth. Factually based. Okay. Don't regard Hake when he uses that word. Okay, I haven't heard him really use it. Yeah, I know. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, okay, this is how I see it. Okay, if you can love what is unlovable, if you can have an appreciation for darkness and see the beauty in it, then that's a deep soul. Okay, people that are attracted to the darkness in that way, of seeing it as beautiful. Um, to me, it's always been like the darkest parts of people that do make them beautiful. Like when I see somebody's like, those parts of people, that's kind of like what, I don't know, gives the sweetness to them. I don't know. It's strange. I don't know if I'm explaining it well. Matthew had a crush on a girl, a goth girl. Oh yeah, the normies. That's amazing that you see yourself as a normie. I've used that term sometimes, and people haven't known what I meant. Like I was like, ugh, what a normie, or ugh. I've had people not understand my meaning. Ugh. Missed a little bit of nail polish here, so I'm gonna scrape it off. So I'm thinking red tonight. I try to do red quite a bit just because it's, it's classic, it's catchy, it's eye-catching, it's iconic, and that's important to me with like how I look. I'm giving you Eternal Sunshine vibes. It's quite an interesting movie, isn't it? Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. I thought it was like, I don't know, so weird. I guess I just never felt but the thing that bothered me about it was I just don't like the thought of erasing someone like that is so painful to me. Like the thought of it just was so strange. And like the fact that all these multiple people were doing it, um, weirded me out. It didn't seem plausible to me because I think we as human beings like are so comforted by those memories. I've never, I guess, when things have gone like sour in relationships, I still want those memories. I wouldn't want to like be without them. Y'all talking about taxes in my chat? Dang. I do like chocolate milk. I was drinking it in a recent live here, wasn't I? I was drinking, well, I mixed some instant coffee with the chocolate milk and like shaked it up. So it was not poor man's mocha because the chocolate milk was organic, like really nice quality chocolate milk. Post-workout fuel, you have chocolate milk. Okay, so I apologize for the weird ASMR that's happening now. I have a friend coming over tonight. She's going to borrow my cat carrier because she has recently, in the past few months, adopted a couple of kittens, and they're going to get spayed tomorrow. They're getting their little uteruses taken out. And I was like, dang, you're not going to let them run out and, have babies at least once? But no, they're going to be virgins, y'all. I love getting deep. Why do women think they can do something cooler than give birth? I don't know. You're asking the wrong woman. What on earth can top opening up the matrix and inviting new life into the world? I can't answer that for every woman, and I don't think every woman is meant to be a mother, so I don't know. Like, and I don't think it's good to like compare that. I have to think about that. That's something I got to smoke on. Why do we think there's something cooler we can do? I don't know. I haven't had kids, so it's hard for me to say. I mean, for me personally, I've never been, for so many years, I just was never in a position where having kids really seemed like a smart decision. Like, I wasn't financially stable myself, and I wasn't meeting anyone who was going to like be someone to have kids with. because I think that's a large part of it. A lot of it has to do with, I think women are very much concerned with security, and if they don't have it and they don't feel it personally, it makes it very frightening to have kids. I don't ever want to be like, to me, it's a very frightening position to imagine like ending up having kids and then being in poverty, you know, and trying to raise children in poverty. It's frightening. To me, it's very frightening. And I would do anything to avoid that, for me and for them. It's just, yeah, I think it's a generational curse thing for me. Um, I don't want to have my kids. If I do have children, or if I did, I would want them to be better off than I was. I'd want to give them a better start in life than I had. So I think that for me has kept me from having kids, because I wasn't ever in that position. Well, I think that's programming. I think that's a lot of programming. We get the message that single women are happier than anyone else. And I don't doubt that. I don't doubt that. Okay. Like, I don't, but what is happiness? What is happiness? And, is the purpose of our life always to be happy? Sometimes our life has to be about service to others. So, yeah, it's a difficult thing. I think there's a lot of brainwashing as well, and women are, they promote the child-free lifestyle, but I really don't think it's something that should be promoted as such, as a goals thing. I mean, if you're child-free, you're child-free. It just should be natural. It shouldn't be something that, is this lifestyle. Because to me, it's never been like a lifestyle. It's never been something that I was like, and they promote it like even in the media. Like, I've seen all these like TikTok accounts where they're trying to turn it into some kind of like lifestyle. And I'm like, it's a fact of life. It's not a lifestyle. And like, just because I don't have kids doesn't mean I'm not interested in kids or like concerned about them. Or, there are kids I know, I adore them. I love children. They're so special. So, I do believe in, I don't know, a healthy person should know and be involved in relationships with people of all ages, I think, and generations. We shouldn't be limiting ourselves like that. Okay, let's see. Y'all chatty, I have to say. Okay. Yeah, being an Olympian, I don't. I mean, being an Olympian is great, but a lot of those women, do end up having kids. Poverty in the U.S. is not that bad. No, it's not that bad, but it is, it's not something that I want to experience. It's not something that I want to bring the children up in. No, I refuse. I refuse. I refuse to put that on kids. I refuse to like live that way. You know, it's, we could say yeah, it is better than in other places, but at the end of the day, people who live in poverty deal with so much stress that, I know for me, like, again, I want to give my children, if I had them, I'd want to give them the best I could. And I would feel like very much constricted in that environment because, I'd want them to have the best education they could, which would mean that like I'd be invested in that as well. I'd want to prepare them, in the best way. And I couldn't do that without the right resources. So to me, it just is not something I'm willing to do. Plus, I don't want to live in poverty. Like, I had to do it growing up. I don't want to do it again. Like, what? I'm middle class now. Okay, do you understand? I fear brokenness. I get near it. It comes near me. I get that, and I'm like, no, no, I don't want to be near it because this what I understand about like what I've done in my life and how I've grown is that it's a mindset that entraps people, and like the experiences that you keep having. I'm trying to consistently get away from that. So I wouldn't want to be thrust in that, and I would not want to put that mindset I would not want my children growing up with that mindset because it is debilitating. So, I would do my best. But again, like I'm only one person, I have so much energy. So I think a lot of it is too, like I've had a number of friends in the past couple of years who are in relationships, like steady relationships with men who have, gotten pregnant, and the guy doesn't offer to marry them. He doesn't offer to do anything like that. And he just like puts the ball in her corner. And so I've had a number of friends who've had abortions in recent years. These are women that are a bit younger than me, and I just kind of am like, I think the issue is like there's a real cultural issue of people just doing things in the wrong order and not really stepping up to the plate when the time comes. And I think it's like men and women relating to each other has a lot to do with this, because how we relate to each other as men and women is going to set the tone for how children are raised. So I think if men and women aren't doing things in the right way with each other, the next generation suffers. And sometimes they suffer because they don't get born. The single women in my city, at least, are a mess. I didn't say we weren't a mess. That's why brunch brands make so much and mimosa venues stay packed. Brunch is amazing. You don't like brunch? I love brunch. Oh, yeah, that's what we do. I forgot about that. Thank you for bringing that up. We have brunch. Kids with no woman headaches. Aww. Oof. Chad, Bob, and Bill. Yeah, I've never had a Chad, Bob, or a Bill. Dang, I haven't lived. Like, okay, y'all, it sounds like y'all are watching too much Sex in the City. I know, as if it's just women having brunch. Men love brunch. In my city, it's mostly like gays. It's a gay thing, gay church, You go out for brunch and then you go shopping. And I love mimosas. Yeah, mimosas are good. Yeah, yeah, yup, yeah, yeah. Well, it is a sacrifice because a lot of them are really like, it affects them, It doesn't. I want to do a video about that. I'm thinking about it, like talking about, and that probably won't be a live. It'll probably be something that I record and just post, but talking about the, emotional fallout of having an abortion. It's not really talked about. It's not politically correct. And regardless of where you stand on the issue, it's a thing that women go through, and men too. Like, that's often when like these relationships will fall apart, you know? And it's like, if things had just been done correctly, if things had just been done correctly, you wouldn't be in this situation. But we're out here not knowing the value of these things, you know, just like sex and sexuality. It's become so cheap and plentiful that it has lost its meaning to most people. And that's a really terrible thing. It's really terrible because like, I just think, you know, I've known so many beautiful young women, you know, especially like the younger generation, because they're even worse than the millennials. Like, you know, they really are. They're just indoctrinated because this kind of like rampant hookup culture was rare. Or it was a lot rarer when I was younger, even though there was like some of it going on. But when I was in my early 20s, it wasn't like it is now. I can't even believe, you know, how easy it's become to just find a random person to do that with. Gay men and rampant single women. Oh my goodness. Coming to a town near you. The Chads do be congregating. They do. They love going out. They go out for IPAs. Well, that's a good thing. That's a good thing though, isn't it? Yeah. I mean, I did have a time in my life where I believed I was never going to have kids. And I was like, I thought it was a great thing, you know. And I encourage women not to do it. I repent. I repent. Like, if you want to have kids, if that desire is in your heart, have kids. Don't listen to what anybody else has to say about it. It's none of their business. Just like if you don't want to have kids, it's nobody else's business. Why does everyone think like, again, like we're not individuals? Each individual has to choose for their life what they're going to try to do with it and make out of it. And so if children is something you want, like why listen to anyone else about it? Don't. Just try to do it in the right way. For their sake, you know, for the kitty's sake. And if you do it in the wrong way, like then try to change course and keep doing things in the right way. What did you encounter? You encountered hookup culture at a Christian boarding school? Yeah, I was pissed because like for the longest time, if you searched Terri Strange, that was the top video that came up. Like, what a crazy bitch. Like, honestly. And this is somebody who like I had done things, you know, I had been like, it's just amazing to me how quickly people will turn on you. Quickly they will turn on you. They'll be like, you're not in the in club anymore. And I was going through it at that time, y'all. I was really going through it, you know. And I shouldn't have like made it public in the way I did, but I felt guilty. You know, I felt guilty about it because I was like, you know, I was, this political lesbian for so many years, and I was, doing it for feminist reasons and all of that, and like I was so committed and so lost in the fucking darkness of that, and I had like even in that time there was light in me. The God's light was still in me, and that's what drew people to me, because even in like that fallen ass state, there was still parts of me and things I was trying to do and wake up and put in people. Like I was still planting good seeds. But yeah, it's amazing to me like how quickly people will just trash you, just trash you. Remember Ceres, whatever. Oh God. Well, I want to stay with her, but I don't want to talk bad about her, but I don't want to talk about her at all. There's so many freaking of them. There's so many of them. I have been on YouTube since 2008. I have been through many incarnations. This isn't even my final form, y'all. She may be a dog, though. Yeah, a lot of them are. I don't even remember what I said. I'm sorry for swearing. They're new here, honey. They're new. They don't know. They don't know. What's the witchcraft red pill? What is the witchcraft red pill? What do you mean? Can you elaborate what you mean? Like, are you talking about a pill that brings you out of witchcraft? Or a pill that takes you into witchcraft? I'm not sure. 10 kids. I don't think I could have 10 kids. I could have one or two. I don't know if physically I'm up for it. I don't know if I'm physically up for having 10, 2 kids. That sounds like. But, maybe I'll, get plugged into some like situation, or maybe one of my relatives, won't be able to take care of their kid, or, maybe I'll meet a nice widower, or, maybe I'll get married and get knocked up and we'll figure it out. Who knows? Who knows? What is the witchcraft red pill? What is the truth about female witchcraft? Honey, I don't know what you're asking me. Dang, what are you asking me? What? Oh, final form. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Matthew. Yeah, I've been around a long time. I used to be on like Encyclopedia Dramatica. I might even still be on Kiwi Farms, other things like that. So if you're interested in learning the lore, I've been around a long time as a feminist for a long time. Also into witchcraft, doing videos like that. There's still tarot readings up on my channel I need to take down. I haven't had the time to really sit down and do it. It'll be done eventually. Like that stuff's going down, but thank you, honey. Thanks, much appreciated. Getting married and knocked up is based. Yeah, we'll see. Oh, okay, yeah, let's talk about that. So yeah, Joel was talking about makeup this week, and I was like, shh. And then he was talking about that girl he met on the trail, and I was like, stop giving away our secrets. He's like, women will do that when they like you. They'll start dressing like, more cute, trying to attract your eye. I'm like, stop. And he was talking about how like this woman progressively got like sexier and sexier and he wasn't responding. And she like eventually just stopped being as friendly with him. And I'm like, she's embarrassed. Of course she is. She's been like trying to get your attention, getting more and more flamboyant, and then she's like, not, it's not working in any capacity. She doesn't know how to like get you to, you know, ask for her number or anything. And she's like, you know, I would be like, she had to be so embarrassed. Like, I can't even imagine. But femininity is, it's not just femininity, it's beauty itself. Beauty practices, all of these things are a female, um, they're a form of like feminine power. And I don't think people really understand that beauty itself is a power. It confers power and privilege to women when we are beautiful. Like, that's just how it is. If you have beauty, you have this kind of, and it's a kind of power that is really difficult to be in. You know, you have, it's a weapon that it's just a double-edged sword. You know, beauty is a double-edged sword. But yeah, um, it's a glamour magic. You know, so we're talking about its connection to witchcraft, doing your makeup, like constructing yourself as a woman, putting yourself together as a woman. It's a form of glamour. Okay, glamour is it's, you know, glamour magic. Witches practice it consciously. Women who aren't initiated into that are practicing it to a certain degree, but it's something that, you know, in terms of the feminine dark arts, is something that, you know, we learn hopefully early on, or we learn, you know, as a woman coming into our own. Do I remember my video on perspective? No. Joel said, be gone. Yeah, right. Joel still misses her. I don't know who Giselle is, the model. Yeah, I love the kind of magic. The powerful is. Aw, aw. Well, anyway, yeah, I definitely, I would connect it like femininity is, and these specifically beauty practices, that kind of thing, they're a form of glamoring that women utilize. It's part of our arsenal of dark arts, which is why like men always want to like see you without makeup, you know, or like they'll want to once they lock a woman down, they try to get her to stop doing it, which is, you know, a form of like just, you know, taking her power away. Because men subconsciously know as long as a woman is able to glamour, she's going to have other options. Which is why, ladies, you should never, ever, ever stop. If you attracted him wearing makeup, keep wearing it. Because he likes it. Women throwing them spells all over, yeah. Oh, yeah, of course. I mean, again, and you have to figure out what we're doing to you. I mean, there's nothing wrong with locking one down, but you also have to take into consideration like the more attractive your woman is to other men, the higher status of a male you appear to be. You know, if you have a woman that's like a bombshell and like really glamorous, that is something that other men will envy and will increase your status amongst men. So it's you gotta pick your balance. You gotta pick your balance. You know, what are you gonna do? What kind of hell are you gonna put up with in a woman? Like what are the boundaries of it? Like, and again, the most seductive, looking woman she can be very pure. You need to like really kind of again see past the veneer. The glamoring is just a thing to kind of magnetically pull you in, but what's really important is like who is that person, which is why we have to take our time. You carry salt and a barb of iron. Oh, nice. Oh, this box isn't getting caught in this trap. I just came for the free bread. Oh, you silly. Silly, silly, silly. Nice. Okay. So I have a friend coming over. She said, when did she say? Let me see. 7:30ish. Okay, so it's like an hour from now. Yeah, it's never free. Never free. If it's free, you don't want it. Is my friend black? No. I think she's like part Hispanic and mostly white. So race obsessed. Aren't they race obsessed? Essay was it essay writing? So she's a woman of color. I mean, when it suits her, I mean, use what you got, honey. If it suits you to identify as a woman of color, if it gets you into the door, do you shake what your mama gave you? You know what I mean? Like, because a lot of these, like, in terms of like networking, socializing, meeting people, getting into organizations, having influence, a lot of these organizations, especially like the old time ones, they want women of color. Like they're looking for it. It's a status symbol thing. So if you have some sort of marginalized identity that, you can game, use it. Like it's just like, if you are, let's say you're mixed race, let's say you're biracial, black and white, you know, and you apply to a college that you want to get into, if you get in because of affirmative action, like, oh well, oh well, do what's right for you. Like, don't worry about like that. Just use what you got, okay? And do the best with what you got. And like, hey, no, I like that. That's kind of my motto too. The sanest days are mad. Why don't you find out for yourself? Then you'll see the price very closely. Use your identity. I mean, don't make it your identity, but use it. Okay, we're in a matrix, right? Somebody mentioned the matrix earlier. If that's what the matrix is doing, it's like, and you have a shot to get in there, use what you got. Don't worry about what anyone else is going to think. Like, your life is your life. Use whatever opportunity and advantage you have, because it's not always going to be there. That's how I see it. Like, if you have an in, take it. Oh man, they were trolling me today too. I couldn't believe some of that. I was getting it today in the JLP specifically chat. They were coming for me. They love telling women to obey. They're like, "Oh, you better obey." And I'm like, "Yeah, I'll obey, winky face." You to tell me like to obey. Like, I just hate when I hear these like men who call in, who are like living in sin, fornicating with a woman. And then Jesse asks them, "Does she obey you? Does she obey you?" And I'm like, she's a damn fool if she obeys him. He's led her into like sin. Why the hell should she obey him? I don't, like, what? And they'll be like, "Yep, she obeys me." And I'm like, well, then she's a fool. Is Irish in? When was Irish in? I know when it was out. I know it was out, but when has Irish ever been? I feel like it just kind of like we kind of became white, like where we weren't noticed as much. But even here, even in liberal Portland, Oregon, I have people make comments to me about being Irish sometimes. Like, and I'm like, it's clear they don't see you as a normal white. And then when they find out you have Catholic family, they're like, oh yeah. They're like, oh, Irish and Catholic? I'm not Catholic, but like my mom's side is. So they find that out and it's just like, yeah. I agree, but like the man is supposed to be the lead, the man is the leader, right? I don't know. Whatever, it's her choice, it's her life. It's her life. It's how she wants to live is her choice, I will say that. But if she came to me asking, I'd be like, this guy has led you into sin. You knocked up having his baby, living in an apartment he rents. Like, just it's ghetto. These situations are so ghetto. Like, and I'm just like, get out of there. Do not obey. Do not marry this man. Do not obey him. Or like the one woman called in and she was like, she's married, but she was like she wanted to take a job like doing management, but she'd have to like change her hours and work in the evening, and her husband wasn't comfortable with that. And I'm like, honey, if he ain't paying the bills, don't obey him. And that's, yeah, so yeah, but I said that like, and guys in the chat get all pissy. I had one guy like, because I said something like, that I said that broke men don't deserve women, is what I said, like on another one, and like, oh, so prostitution then, Terry? And I'm like, you all respect a prostitute more than you respect like non-prostitute, because you'll actually pay her for her time. you actually see her time as valuable, whereas you don't see that in the women you date. You expect them to go half, but you don't do that with a hooker. Okay? So, you want to sit around and like call me a prostitute, or women that like understand that a prostitute, it's so disgusting. It's so like vile. Like, come on. But yeah, they were trolling me. Yeah, that same guy that said that to me earlier this week was like, "Oh, I'm a union lineman." Blah blah blah. Like, what was he saying? He was saying something like, he was like, "If you would obey, then you'd get married." And I'm like, "Well, I'm not. I wouldn't marry a man that I couldn't obey. Like, I'll just say that. That's one thing. But like, if you want obedience, you kind of have to be the leader. I can't be your partner, You have to be the leader." But yeah, I was like, I was like, pay my bills. I said something like, yeah, you can pay my bills if you expect me to obey you. And then he was like, yeah, he said that. He's like, no, you obey first. No. I was like, you couldn't even afford to pay my bills. Like, that's the thing. I said to the guy, I was like, you can't afford to pay my bills. And he was like, no, I'm a union lineman. And I'm like, look, I just, okay, here's what I'm going to say. Alpha, like they're all acting like alpha in the chat. It's just so funny. Like they act alpha, and like they're so financially astute and all that. And I'm like, I know, I know you can't pay my bills. Okay, I know you cannot afford to pay my bills because you're the kind of man who sits around arguing with women in chat rooms. Okay, so that's all I need to know. That's all I need to know. Because no man who can pay my bills is going to sit around in a chat room arguing with women about what they expect. Like, what? Oh, man, y'all are talking. Mm, there was an Irish Renaissance. Yeah, you're lucky. Yeah, I mean, but yeah, where you're at, there's like so much more diversity. Portland is not very diverse. It really isn't. So like, and the white people here are, I've talked about it, like the racist white liberals. They're so they're so into it. They're even like grading you by what kind of white you are. But again, it's not a big deal. It's just funny when it happens because I don't think about it usually, but it's like happened a number of times. Or then sometimes I'll meet somebody and they'll like recognize my name and they'll be like, oh, like my last name. They'll be like, I haven't met anyone with that name in years, like, or, which is funny because it's like a common one, but yeah, we do our best. Russian American culture is very boring. I don't know. Yeah, the Russian Americans are not. Oh, that's nice of you. Thank you. You think I look beautiful and you love my hair. Thank you. I'm glad that, I could share it with y'all today. Yeah, they are preps. Hmm. I know. That's so funny. Yeah, I know. It's the Irish does become dominant. I've noticed that, like in a lot of people. They could be a bunch of things, but the Irish is what's dominant. I've had that even with like even my mom is half Irish and half Italian. and she grew up completely immersed in her Irish like culture. She did not have much contact with like the Italian part of herself. But I will say all of my uncles look like Italian men because they wear like the chains and like yeah. Shout out to the grandpas. I love ain't nothing like a grandpa. Oh, may his soul rest in peace. I do love Puerto Ricans. I love me some Puerto Ricans. They're crazy. I was having fun. I have fun getting in there. Hey, weird beatnik. Well, I wish you luck, Thomas. You know, I wish you luck. I mean, it's the simple things. They got mad though. It was funny. After I said that, they didn't come for me again though. They love coming like they do love coming for me. I'm like, you're arguing with a woman in a chat room, sir. Alpha energy. Obey me. Lol. And I'm like too, like I'm the kind of woman too. I'm like, I would rather ask for forgiveness than permission, okay? Straight up. Like I'm a decent woman, and all of that, but like I'm gonna get my way. One way or the other, and I will do my best to spare your feelings in the process. Oh yeah, I know. Honey, if I had somebody like doing that all for me, do you know what I would be doing? They would be fed every day and they would have dessert and this fridge would be stocked, okay? So don't worry about that. Like if I was being taken care of that way, that would be happening. That would be happening. There would be all kinds of delicious things to eat. And even on the days that I don't cook, I would make sure something delicious was available. You don't like tactful women, don't cuss, but don't hold back either. I try not to cuss too much. Sometimes it comes out. I used to be really bad. Oh, I used to be really bad. And I think I do a lot better now, but I mean, I avoid it more than I don't. But I wouldn't say I never cuss. I wouldn't say I never cuss. I know I cussed earlier in the show, and I apologize if I offended anyone. Did I say the C word? Did I say the effing? I think I said F and C, didn't I? Y'all will remember. It'll be burned in your memories more than me. Or maybe I said the B word. It was either both are true. Both would be accurate for that situation. That person is both a B and a C. Ooh. Oh, sometimes when I'm painting my right hand, it don't turn out too good. Uh, Dessert. Men love dessert. I see these married women, they fatten their husbands up. Y'all need to be careful about that. If your wife starts feeding you too much, you start putting it on. I haven't met a woman who talks the talk and walks the walk. I can't walk. Oh, I didn't say I would do your laundry. I will not do your laundry, but I will feed you. I will make sure you have something to eat. I will feed a man, but I will not do his do his laundry. I mean, maybe a little bit, maybe a little bit. That wouldn't say completely that I wouldn't, but like the whole process, I will put it in the washing machine and the dryer, and I will take it out, but I will not fold it and I will not hang it up. Okay. And if it's real nasty, I ain't doing it. This is funny. And then it's Cheerios every day. Oh no. Cheerios every day. No, like if I didn't like Red Hansel and Gretel. Oh God, yeah, I couldn't. That could not be me. No, no, no. That's nasty. That's nasty. Do you like? I believe in having mystery in a relationship. One should have a degree of mystery. Like there's certain things about me you don't need to see or know about, and there's certain things about you that I don't need to see or know about. And as long as we respect those boundaries, we're gonna have a nice situation. But when those lines are crossed, it's just not good. It's just not good. We should treat each other better than that. Like it's part of keeping the spark alive, I think. It's just having a little bit of mystery. Like if you notice you done soiled your drawers, he don't need to see that. Or she don't need to see that, whoever. Spare your partner from certain things. Just, out of love, out of love. And yeah, we do get dirty. I mean, we have a lot more going on down there. So. Anyway, anyway. No, seriously though, I mean, if I didn't have to work, I would be cooking every day. I mean, it's one of the things that like stresses me out about just the level of like working that I have to do. Ugh, like the hours I have to put in. It's just I want to like cook my own meals, but I don't have the energy for it. So if I had more free time, it's something I would definitely be doing. Oh, no, you are not up here. What? And you dug your claws in. You dug your horrible claws into my flesh. It hurts. Oh, you not no good boy. You not love me like you should. Why would you do that to your mama? Why would you treat me that way? Why? Why you not love me like you should? You not love me like you should. You betrayed me in my heart. You dug your claws into me. Why you would do that? Anyway, let's move on. Let's move on from this topic. It's silly, really. I mean, I think it just depends on like what you're looking for, what you need, what would be a good trade off in service to you. Baby, okay, get off of me. Get off of me. Patois and I wasn't speaking no patois. What are you talking about? What? Why you do that to me? Why you? Why you? I don't know. I guess I do talk like that to him a bit. He's black. I don't know. Maybe are you Jamaican? A man shouldn't have to hold down a woman and a housekeeper. I really think that depends on what I don't agree necessarily. I know quite a few women who are married, don't have kids, and they have housekeepers. So I think it really depends. I don't know. That depends on the situation. Like if you're a normal middle class family and you have, small kids and she's not, that's basically the brunt of her time is spent at home keeping house, like maybe, but I don't know. I feel like if I were, I would want a housekeeper still. Like, not, maybe come once or twice a month just to help with certain things that, so there's a lot I can't do physically. There's just a lot I can't really physically do. So yeah, I don't know. I think it really depends on what, also like if you have a really like, what if your home is like really large? And then what other things does she have going on? I mean, if you have kids, like what is the extent of what they have going on too? And what does she have to be available for there? I don't know. So I don't agree. And again, I have girlfriends who are married and don't have kids. None of it. And their man pays for a maid. Maid services aren't even that expensive. Like, what, you're looking at like 30 or 40 an hour? Hire them like every now and then, once or twice a month for like an hour or two of work. It's not. It's not. And it does do so much for your home. I mean, if you have like multiple kids, though, you can have them do chores. So that's kind of like a thing. Once they reach a certain age, they should be able to, do certain things. So that can help, but it really depends on the size of your home and all of that. Housekeeper is for the lavish. Oh my, Matthew, you definitely are not the man for me. My goodness. I always thought my cat was Mexican because I picked him up on the border. I thought you were Mexican. You're not Mexican? You Mexican? What race are you? I know you're black. I love you. Look at you. Housekeeping inspires laziness in children. I mean, I don't know. Like, you can have a housekeeper but still have chores and responsibilities. I don't agree. Like, no. Because if I had daughters, I'd be raising them to be kept women. They're gonna run where mommy crawled. You know what I mean? Oh, Thomas. Helping their mother, aka the love of my life. Lavish kids. Yeah, I'd be having lavish kids. My kids would be very lavish. I'd be like, okay, so how are we gonna afford to send them to the best school? How much is their tutoring gonna be? I'd be crazy. What do you mean by occasional sexism comes up? What do you mean? Like, what are they doing? Like, do they say things about women that aren't right? Or like, what do you mean? Do you have a sword? Are you asking me if I have a sword? I haven't had a sword in years. I miss my sword. It had like Grateful Dead bears on it. I sold it in like a yard sale I did. Sold it real cheap. And the guy who bought it was so happy because he had a sword. And that's how I felt when I came upon the sword, too. I do have some interesting knives, but we're not going to get to that on the show. I don't know if that's appropriate for the show, you know. You cooked today? Nice. Yeah, I like to cook. I do. I love to feed people as well. It's nice when I can make somebody a meal that is delicious. Because I do have a good taste. You know, I'm good at putting flavors together and making really simple, delicious food. Like I do tend to like just make very simple, elegant, and like good food. And I know a lot. I have a lot of like just recipes. I'm kind of a natural at it, I guess I would say. I don't want to say I'm a natural. My dad did teach me how to cook, and I also picked it up when I worked in cafes and that kind of thing. So I have, and I worked in a kitchen too. So cafes, and then I worked in an industrial kitchen. So I learned a lot about cooking and different things. So I enjoy doing it, but I just don't have the time and energy to like do it and like deal with all of the like cleanup. It's just a lot of effort. It's just a lot of effort. Okay. Oh, my cat got his fur on me here. Dang it. And it's impacting my nails. Ugh. I don't like when this happens. Wow, y'all stop. Y'all, what the heck? You talk so fast. How am I supposed to keep up and do my nails? Saying things and teasing too when they say stop. Okay, so they're picking on the girls. I mean, weird beatnik. You know what I'll say about that? Like, this is something that girls have to figure out as well. I mean, if you see something go too far, or like you see somebody like cross a line of decency, you can definitely speak up and be like, just, you don't have to say much. You could just say something like, hey, check him or check the guy and just be like, you went too far or something. But like women also have to learn how to stand up for themselves too and like deal with this because it's an ongoing thing. I deal with it still. Men like to tease women. It's when they don't know how to flirt, this is what they do instead. They want to get their attention and this is how they do it. And so if they can't get their attention, in a positive way, they'll get it in a negative way. Because that female attention is like life, It's like so validating when a boy gets to get a girl's attention. It's like, oh, she noticed me. And it doesn't matter if it's good or bad. It does not matter because he's going to be like just validated in his existence. Like, yeah. Yep, Thomas, exactly. Because at the end of the day, most men worship women to a certain degree. And so, that attention from a woman is just like the best thing they can. It's like the trolls in the chat that come for me. Like I know they're not alpha because I'm on their minds. I'm upsetting them. Like they're getting in their feelings. They want my attention. They go out of their way to get my attention.
Like I know what boy. I've been dealing with this since I was little. I know. You don't fool me. Okay, oof, almost done here. Boy, I love red nails. There's just something about a nice red nail. It's just eye catching and beautiful. Yeah, they want that mama love. Girls rule, boys drool. Boys go to Jupiter to get more stupider. Girls go to Mars to get more candy bars. Yeah, don't let it get to you. And, don't worry about the sexism of it. Just like observe it. And, like, if you feel, though, like a line of decency is crossed, then as another man, you can step in and say something, And I think it would just be like, you don't have to say much. You could just be like, dude, stop. Not much more. Not it doesn't have to go. Like, hey, you going too far. Like back or like back off. You don't have to be aggressive about it. You can just be like, hey, back off. Yeah, yeah. Well, Weird Beatnik is a sensitive soul. He trying to do his best out here in the world. He trying to you know be an ally. Sometimes it's helpful though. I've been in situations where like men were pushing me too far, and then another guy stepped in and was like, "Hey," and he stopped because with me he wasn't going to stop. I was telling him like you need to stop, like you need to back off, and then like when I was becoming more and more visibly uncomfortable, I did have another guy step in, or I had a guy step in and say like, "Hey, you're going too far with her." Like sometimes men will not listen to a woman, especially when they're like, because what happened like sometimes the situation is such that he is possessed by an evil spirit that's driving him to do certain things with a woman. He has this like certain spirit in him that's driving him to do something to humiliate or disrespect the woman. And in that circumstance, if you as a man see that happening, you probably should step in, because the more she tries to speak up for herself, the more that spirit's going to push her, and it can get ugly. So I think that's like part of engaging in like engaging in a community situation, engaging with other men. Like, 9 times out of 10, you don't need to get involved, but like there are circumstances where you might see that she does need help. And it's okay to white knight. That's a positive aspect of masculinity. Okay. I know. I appreciate positive masculinity. I appreciate masculinity is positive, and when a man is protective or defends a woman, it's a beautiful thing. Don't do it in a beta creepy little way like every single woman needs saving. No, but like if you notice something is going too far, you should speak up as a man. I think just you don't have to make it weird. You don't have to be like really aggressive about it, but you can just be like, hey, you're going too far. Because sometimes they will not hear it from a female voice. They just won't. You know. Sometimes some guys don't respect women at all. They just don't. They have no respect and they go too far. And the thing is, that kind of situation, it's just, and then that woman leaves that situation with more victimhood, you know? And then she comes, then that's a situation where like it can cause the victimhood complex to fester. So if you see that, like, it's just, yeah, it's not good. say something if you can. When you notice it's gone too far, it's okay to like, and do this with anyone. Like, I appreciate when I go too far and somebody tells me, "Hey, that was too far." Like, a decent person will course correct. Somebody possessed by Satan may not course correct, but they may, like, you know, they may learn that in that moment it's probably not in their best interest to keep going. Android is a spectrum. What are y'all talking about? The Dutch, being Dutch is based, just maybe not in, not the Afrikaans. South Africa is a whole different planet. Oh my goodness. Y'all are crazy. What are you talking about South Africa for? Okay. Red nails, y'all. I need to put a top coat on it. I'm thinking about what top coat I'm going to use. So I have some nice ones. Yeah, and they're not going to course correct, but they're going to drop the subject. 7:14. Is it already? Oh, oof. Yeah, my friend said she'd be coming around 7:30 because she had an appointment tonight. Let's see. Oh yeah, they're having a book club. I forgot about that. A book club. I already belong to a book club, but they're setting one up in my building. I do like that about my building. Could I do two? Do you think I could do back to back book clubs on a Sunday? I usually have one at like 1 o'clock or sometimes 2 o'clock, and then I could do one at 5 o'clock apparently. Because the options are like Sundays at 5, Wednesdays at 6. Wednesday is a no go for me. Thursdays at 7. Thursday's a possibility for me. That'd be interesting. Book club with the neighbors. There was something else they mentioned too. They've gotten us like a personal trainer, free on site personal trainer. I need to sign up for a free fitness assessment. I would enjoy that actually. I think I am going to sign up for that, like the free, because I haven't really used our fitness center. When I first moved in, I was using it, but now like I'm just not as able. But maybe I would like someone to help me with like figuring out how to use the weights because they do have free weights, and it would be nice to build up a little bit of more muscle in my arms and see what else they suggest for me just physically. Oh, you're so nice. Do you think they're splendid? Lady in red vibes. Aw, shucks. Yeah, it's classy. I don't know. Yeah, I'm not really interested in going to South Africa either. Seems stressful. So this isn't a top coat. This is not a top coat. Work on grip strength. Yeah, I could use some help with grip strength actually, because my hands, I have issues with my hands. Like, I have trouble like picking things up and grabbing them. Some of it is due to like just the condition I have, but I would like, yeah, a little bit more grip strength. I thought about getting some like when I was a kid, my dad had these like grip tools. They were like resistance things. I've thought about purchasing those again to like work on my grip strength. But I don't know. I don't know. It just would be nice to use whatever I physically can in the fitness center. I can't use the treadmill anymore. I can't use, well, maybe I don't know. No, I can't get on I can't get on the bikes. But I think I could use like some of the free weights and maybe just figure out like some exercises I could do just to build up a little bit more muscle strength. I don't know what COC is. No. COC. Amazon. Yeah. Good on with Jeff Bezos. Shout out to Jeff, wherever you are. Not in Seattle anymore, apparently. Punk magazine books from the 70s. That sounds interesting, like old zines, or like, what are you reading? I'm interested. We are interested. Go on. Yeah, I'm looking at my options here for top coat, and I'm kind of thinking like, And do I just want them to be red, or do I want to do like something else over it? Zines. I did a video years ago with like my zine collection where I went live and was reading from different scenes, and I had like a fat liberation zine. I think I read some stuff from. It was called Figure Eight. I'm glad tomorrow is Friday. Another week slaughtered. It's been a whole mess this week, though. Ugh. Yeah, I remember Mel's basket case. Dang. I haven't thought about her in years, but yeah, I remember her. She's interesting. I remember she's getting trolled, and all the atheist men were like, she had to go off for a while because she couldn't really deal with it, and all the atheist men started white knighting her. It's like, it's not fair. You shouldn't be trolling a mentally ill person. But they were all mentally ill, trolling each other and me. So I don't know. She's such a sweet person. I just remember them bawling about it. She's such a sweet person, and she's bringing light to experience that other people don't have. I miss old YouTube to a certain degree. It was so. I was thinking about that today. I was like, how crazy old YouTube really was. It really was insane. The way everyone interacted. Because today they were talking about. I don't remember if it was on Nick's show or if it was on Hake's show, but they were talking about how YouTube took away the downvoting system. I remember back in the day where it was a rating, so you did 1 to 5 stars for the videos, and that was really harsh because I had some dedicated haters who, no matter what, would as soon as they saw I uploaded a video, would downvote it. Yeah, I do. I appreciate that too. More simping. I know. It was serious. Simping. Okay. I thought it was the anchor baby. I thought it was him. I know. It was so crazy. I can't believe I was on here, my precious little young self on YouTube doing my little videos. And there were so many crazy people. And now when I look them up, a lot of them aren't doing so good. But I've the friends I made during that time were just so precious to me, connections that I met some really cool people at that time. It was an interesting mix of people that were drawn to the medium, making these videos before anyone else. You miss the stars. You explicitly, oh yeah, because we're not supposed to say that word. Anchor baby is what he calls himself. I didn't call him an anchor baby. He called himself an anchor baby. I don't care how he got here. That was in the past, and the past don't exist. Like, it's not his fault his mama dropped. Like, it's not his fault his mama had him, like, here, you know? Like, it's good, you know? I understand why. I understand why. And as long as they're, like, you know, contributing positively to the society, which it seems like he is, you know, again, use what you got. Yeah, no, I don't really care for the Ramones. No, I love punk music, but I'm not really big on the Ramones. Um, yeah, I'm trying to think of like groups that I don't know, like you're talking about, like kind of. I'm more into like the British punk scene, but there's some American groups I do like. I like X, for example. I love Blondie. I love Patti Smith. So I do like some out of the New York scene. Um, but yeah, I'm more into like British punk. I'm more into like the Buzzcocks, you know, Wire, the Stranglers, the Jam, you know. I love the Sex Pistols, obviously, and Public Image Limited. Um, Trying to think, Susie and the Banshees, obviously, Adam and the Ants. Uh, Trying to think, you know, there's so much. I mean, Magazine is one. Magazine, love Magazine. Totally underrated band. Oh my God. It's like, yeah, I don't know. It's hard to me for me because like a lot of these groups, you know, they became something else too. So, or they like grew into different genres and like expanded. Oh, yeah, because you have an interest in Gnosticism, don't you, Matthew? I think that's really great. I mean, my first channel got hacked. They uploaded. I had two channels. I had a poetry channel, and I had a main channel, and both of them got hacked because I got phished. I didn't really understand phishing at the time. I got phished, and they took my channel. They uploaded pornography on my poetry channel, so that channel got completely taken down. And then they said they returned my main channel to me, but I could not log into it because the email I used was for both channels. Dang, you remember? You remember, Amy? You remember how they did me? That hurt my feelings. But and then so I lost the like Nuclear Night channel before then, and then like for some reason I was getting these messages that were like, hey, they're flagging all your videos. They're recommending to flag all your videos on this website. And so like I figured like I'll just private my channel. Like I privated most of my videos, like or all of my videos, except for one. One I managed, I didn't private it, but that was an accident. I would have if I could have. So like my first channel, everything's privated and I have no access to it. It's so lame. And then my poetry channel, I had none. Yeah, it was poetry that I wrote. They were my poems. I don't even write poetry anymore. I don't have any interest in it. I don't even think I have any of those poems, but I was writing poems at that time. So yeah, I thought I'd set up a poetry channel. I do have a way with words. I'm talking about Henry Rollins. I saw a video of him like bashing Morrissey, and it was disgusting. I was so appalled. I was like, ugh, I do not like this man. He's saying horrible things about Morrissey. Yeah, I know. I loved personalizing my page. I made such cool designs on my page. I really was sad they took that away. Because I did some like really cool designs. I remember when everyone freaked out on me because like I put a picture of like Myra Hindley as my background on my channel, and they freaked out. And all these people were accusing me of like supporting like Myra Hindley and the Moors murderers. Like I can't even remember like where that like. And then I had like this like the Scouse Caspa woman. I never forget her because she just like irritated me so much. She had that like horrible voice. She's like, I hate Nuclear Night, but Nuclear Night does not. I can't do her voice. Scouse, come on, Terri, Scouse. Nuclear Night does not support. No, I'm not doing it right. Hold up, I'd have to like. The murder and rape of children. like I hate her. I don't want to defend her, but you all are going too far. It was so funny. It was like such ridiculous wrong. People hated me so much. They just would like anything they could use, anything that they could possibly use to stir up some drama. I know, that's right. I'm a corporate employee of YouTube now. And where are they? Do they even make videos anymore? Dead Kennedys. Oh, yes, I do like the Dead Kennedys. What was I listening to today? I listened to a little music. Christy Moore. I was listening to Christy Moore. Some nice Irish music. Screeching Weasel, No Effects, Rancid. Oh, Lord, Matthew. No. 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 I guess I did like, you know what? I did like the Distillers. I went into like a dispensary a couple years ago to purchase some wares, and they were playing the Distillers, and they were playing like I think my friend and I like yeah we're gonna buy a J and just like go for a walk with it, you know, and whatnot. And so they were playing the Distillers, and they were playing Lordy Lordy from the what was that album? I remember it had a green cover. It's like Sing Sing something. But from what I understand about Christopher Anderson is he is a Orthodox Christian now. So he was like part of the atheist community, and now he's like had a conversion. Dang, Matthew. Listen to Cher, Slaughter to Prevail, and Post Malone. I have never heard Slaughter to Prevail or Post Malone. Man, Matthew, you do a lot of laundry, don't you? I guess in your position you would. I guess, yeah. I do a lot of laundry too. Oh, heck, my friend's calling me, y'all. Let's see.
Hey, how's it going? Oh, you're here? Okay, I'll be right down. Okay, bye. Well, y'all, it's over. I hope you have a good evening. My friend's here. We're going to hang out a little bit, not too long because it is a school night. Women that sing about love usually have no clue. Well, you'd have to. Oh, and I listened to Amy Winehouse. Yeah, it was a fun stream. I hope you all have a good night. Okay, take care. I will be back another time. Bye.